won't let nothing get in my way. Hey, I gotta go get it, gotta go get it, yeah. Gotta go get it, gotta go get it, yeah. Gotta go get it, gotta go get it, yeah. Hey, gotta go get it, gotta go get it, yeah.
Hey everybody, let's go. It's finally me Friday.
Gotta go get it, yeah. Gotta go get it, gotta go get it, yeah. Finally me.
Hey,
Finally me.
what's going on?
Finally me.
What's going on?
Finally.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay,
I go get it, get it. Finally. Watch me go get it.
watch me go get it. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for Finally Me for Real on Friday. All right, let me know where you guys checking in from. It's Finally Me on Friday, and thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us for Finally Me on Friday. Thanks for joining. Hey. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. What's up? It's Finally Me on Friday. Thanks for joining us. I'm excited. Denver, what's up? All right, Denver, what's up? Okay, all right. I'm excited about it. Looking forward to just having a great time with a special guest, Joy Hill. She's gonna get on soon in a few minutes. But before I bring her on, thanks everybody for checking in. All right, Texas is in the house. Denver is in the house. Who else? Where y'all from? Nigeria is in the house. Okay. All right, Glenn Arden is in the house. Johannesburg is in the house. South Africa is in the house. All right, who else is up in here? Alexander, Virginia is in the house. Okay, who else is up in here? Okay, let me know. Florida, Boston, Massachusetts, Philly, my goodness, Fort Worth, Florida. Okay, I'm so excited. Thank you all so very much for joining me for what I'm calling my Finally Me for Real on Friday. All right, I'm gonna tell you about that song in a minute. All right, so everybody just the hashtag is FM the number 4 real. FM the number 4 for real. What's up, Ghana, Tennessee, Texas? I give it back to me so I know y'all got it. FM the number 4 real. FM the number 4 REAL. Hey, Brazil is in the house. Columbia, South Carolina is in the house. Tallahassee is in the house. Thank y'all so very much. For joining. Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania. All right, there it is. Somebody got it. FM for real. That's the hashtag. Let's put it on the FM. The number 4 real. Don't forget to use that. All right, that symbol in front of it. Let's try trending. Thank y'all so very much. Hey, so a couple of announcements before I bring on my special guest. I'm excited because this has been a dream. For me, and that is to host my own talk show. So while Oprah is trying to discover me and Ellen DeGeneres and Steve Harvey, I just decided to create my own space. What y'all think about this? Create my own space to have my own talk show. All right, and Finally Me for Real. Purpose is to empower, to equip, to encourage everyone, particularly women, to be their authentic self. All right, Joy, get into the Be Live. Joy Hill, get into the Be Live. All right, and let me know when you're in there. I can pull you in. So Finally Me purpose, Finally Me for Real, is to empower, to equip, and to encourage you to be authentically who you were created to be. All right, that's the purpose of Finally Me for Real. The only people who, hey, James Johnson, God bless you. The only people who get on this platform is people who don't mind being real. All right, hello, what did I say? People who don't mind being real, talking about real issues, real stuff. What am I talking about? Talking about real issues and real stuff. All right, so don't get on here at 5:30 not trying to talk real issue or faking the funk. All right, faking the funk. We don't need no phonies and we don't need nobody faking the funk. So I want to encourage you guys, share it with everybody, share it with everybody. Also, hey, I'm trying to help the island of Trinidad and Tobago. That's where I'm from. I'm trying to help them. They don't have a stimulus check. They don't have government trying to help them out. And so the way I'm going to help them is all of my products. What did I say? All of my products is going to, all of my products in my Finally Me for Real store. All right, in my Finally Me for Real.com store is going to help those on the island of Trinidad and Tobago. And so I've got 2 brand new products. The first one is right there. Okay, IG, I don't know how y'all going to see this. You got to go on Facebook. But my first product has to do with, I'd rather be 6 feet apart. 6 feet, it's better to be 6 feet apart than 6 feet under. All right. It's better to be 6 feet apart than to be 6 feet under. That's my first product. I want to encourage you guys to go check it out, or you can check out also my my mask that I have, a Finally Me for Real mask, and then also some other things in there. So all of it is Finally Me for Real. All right. Finally Me for Real.com. All right, I'm on the app, but don't see or hear anything. All right, I'm gonna pull you in. We got you. We got you. So thanks everybody for joining us on today. All right, let me see. Okay, let me see. Okay, so a couple of things before I bring on our guest speaker. All right, before I bring on our guest speaker. All right, okay, let me get rid of this. All right, I'm wait till she comes on here. And let me a couple of things before we bring on our guest speaker. All right, just a couple of things to remind you guys of. Hey, anybody grateful for some amazing thing that happened in April? You're out of April. Okay. So what is one thing that you're grateful for in the month of April? Anybody grateful for anything in the month of April? In the month of April. In the month of April. All right. Hold on. Okay, anybody grateful for anything in the month of April? Give it back to me. What are you thankful for in the month of April? What are you thankful for in the month of April? Okay, what are you thankful for in the month of April? In the month of April. What are you guys thankful for in the month of April? Okay, life. All right, still here. All right. Oh, let me shut this down. All right. Help. Fantastic. I read in all of y'all comments. Thank you so very much. Okay, what else you guys are thankful for? Okay, what else you guys are thankful for? All right, let me see. I didn't get sick. I was able to still work. Oh, that's fantastic. What else? My 62nd birthday. Wow. That's fantastic. Let me see. IG, what are you guys thankful for? You can work from home. Okay. All right, fantastic. Okay, anybody else? Finding Me. You must have took that class with me. Okay, you must have taken that class. All right. Okay, yeah. Joy Hill is in a little bit of traffic, so we'll try to get on. Okay, but in the meantime, this is the month of May. This is the month of what? What month are we in? Okay. All right, we are in the month of May. And so thank God for April. We made it. We made it, and I'm so appreciative that everybody made it. I got a promotion. I got a promotion. Wow, that's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. You got a promotion, stronger and closer relationship with God. All right. Okay. Fantastic. That I can breathe, that I got family and friends. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Wonderful. So this is the month of May. What month are we in? We are in the month of May. And in the month of May, I want us to understand something powerful about the month of May. What is the month of? We are in the month of May. And how many of y'all played that show called Simon Said? Anybody played Simon Said when they were a kid? Simon Said. Simon Said. Okay. Life, health. I see you guys. Thank y'all. Holly Davis. Thank you, Holly. Fantastic. All right. So in the month of May, in the month of May, May is a very powerful month. It's the 5th month, so 5 is the number for grace. And if anybody ever played this show in the month of May, it is the show that I played it when I was a kid, and that is Simon Said. Did anybody play Simon Said? Did anybody play Simon Said? All right, who played Simon Said? All right, anybody played Simon Said? Okay, Simon Said. So Simon Said, and I'm trying to remember the game because I played it when I was a kid. You know, Simon said to stand up. All right, and then you would say, what would you say if they say Simon said to stand up? What would you do? You'll say, may I? Is that what you will say? Is that what you'll say, Suzette or Monsieur Vaughn? What would you say? If somebody says, Simon said, stand up, what would you say? You're supposed to say, may I? Is that what you're supposed to say? Right? You're supposed to say, may I? Is that right? Is that may I? Okay. Yes, I played Simon Says. And so, okay. So, and then Simon is going to respond and say, yes, you may. Right? Simon is going to respond. And what is Simon is going to say? Yes, you may. So Simon says, wave your hands, and you have to say, may I? And then Simon will say, yes, you may. And I was talking to a group of women on this morning, and I want to just preference this conversation on Finally Me. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to be a part of that game. It's wonderful to be a part of that game. It's wonderful to be a part of that game. But my goodness, the crazy thing about may I is that why is it often time we ask permission from people to be who we were authentically created to be? Why is it we ask permission? So the month of May, the challenge is stop asking may I. Stop asking people for permission to do what God has called you to do or to be authentically you. So this month, we are getting rid of the word may I. All right, just be you. Just be authentically you. Why is it we often ask people permission if we can do this or should be here or be there or what? No. And my sister, this is what she said. She said it, and then I'm going to bring on our guest, Miss Joy Hill. But my sister said this. She said, it's better to ask for forgiveness than ask permission. It's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. What did I say? It's better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. Give it back to me. It's better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. And I want to encourage you guys as you step into the month of May. Hey, listen, you don't ask anybody but God permission for you to be who you were authentically created to be. Well, I'm excited today about having our special guest, none other than a wonderful sister, powerful house. Many of you guys might follow her. You've heard her sing. She's a minister. She is a mother. She's an entrepreneur. And the only reason why she's on this platform is because she is real. So everybody get ready for as I introduce you guys to my special guest. And none other than Joy here. Hey, Joy, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Jazz. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, fantastic. And thanks for joining us for Finally Me for Real on Friday.
Yes,
I
I'm glad to
appreciate
be
you.
here.
You look amazing. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing really well considering everything that's going on. I'm doing really, really well.
That's fantastic. And before we dive into what we want to talk about, how's your family? How's everybody? I know you are in Texas, in Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and my oldest son is in Rwanda. He was in Italy. He's living abroad doing some philanthropic work there, and he got to get out of there before the whole virus got really, really bad, and went to Rwanda. So he's been safe there for, I guess, a good going on 6 weeks now. And then my youngest son is in Denver, and he's doing his distant learning like so many other high schoolers, and he's doing very, very well.
Wow. That's amazing. And how old are the boys?
So my oldest is 25. That's CJ, we call him. And then my youngest, Jonathan, he's 17. He just turned 17 last month, and he's got his driver's license and a car, and he's happy.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, this is Finally Me for Real on Friday, where we bring on some people who, have been through some stuff. And one of
Yep.
my favorite songs is, my artist is Mary J. Blige. I know people think I only listen to gospel music, but I rarely listen to gospel music. And Mary J. Blige has a song that I loved. In fact, I preached a sermon on it, and that is "You Can't Keep a Good Woman Down." Okay,
Yeah,
and everybody put it in the IG and put it on
love it.
Facebook. You can't keep a good woman down. So
That's
the
right.
whole month of May, my Finally Me for Real Friday is going to be focusing on women who have been down, but they have gotten up.
Yeah.
And they've either been down in terms of death, losing a loved one, number two, divorce, or number three, disappointment. And
Well, I meet all three of those criteria.
I was about to tell you, I got the triple D, the triple D. All right, I've had death, I've experienced divorce, and I've experienced disappointment, as so much has you and so many of those of you who are watching us. So
Yes.
the purpose of this, as we have this dialogue, is to talk about all three, or which one we want to focus on that will inspire and equip
Yeah.
people. All right. So I know Joy Hill, but they may not know Joy Hill.
Right.
So I break up this segment into before, after, and now, or next.
Yes.
So tell them a little bit about you.
Okay, well, I think one of the reasons why, Dr. Jazz, you and I have this connection, because I'm an island girl like you. I was born in the island of St. Kitts in the British West Indies, and my parents were missionaries there. That's how my family ended up there in the late 60s, early 70s. And I was their little island baby. So that's where it all began for me. My parents started a church there. It still exists today. And then we moved to the States in the blizzard of 77 in Boston, Massachusetts. So I went from sunny beaches to snow. Yeah, instantly. And grew up there, went to elementary, middle, high school, college, got married, had my first son there. Yeah, so I spent the majority of my years in Boston, Massachusetts. So that's where I really grew up. And then, so relocated to Dallas, Texas, and I've moved quite a bit, and getting ready to move again. I'll talk about that a little later, but so that was me before, how it all began. What else you want to know? Like where are we going?
Well, so if there would be one word, why did they name you Joy? What's a name is so important. The Bible said a good name is better than riches. So how did your parents or whoever came up with the name of Joy? Because that's a powerful name. It's one of the fruits of the Spirit. So Joy.
Well, my dad was the one that actually named me. And I have a sister and a brother that's 9 and 10 years older than me. So it had been a long time since my family had had children. And so when I came along and being on that island, I guess my parents, felt like they were on a second honeymoon, let my mother tell it. And they ended up conceiving and having me on that island. And so I brought, joy to the family, and that's what they tell me. I've been dancing and singing pretty much since I came out the womb. I mean, they have stories of me running around the house, just singing and dancing. So I've always really been this way. Really, what you see, what the friends, the people that know me, what you see is what you get. I really don't have time to be fake. It's too exhausting. So, but yeah, so that's how I got my name.
Wow. Okay, well, that's fantastic. Well, I think I met you in Dallas, and then I came oftentimes when you were married, and you were at the Potter's house in Denver. And
Yep.
you were married with Pastor Chris Hill, who is a
Yep.
great man, and you're a great
Yep.
woman. And so you were married for how many years? And tell us a little bit of that wonderful marriage.
Okay. Well, I met him when I was 14 years old. So he's my first and my only.
Wow.
Y'all can fill in the blanks. Yes.
Wow.
And so that was quite a story. I mean, I guess I was an anomaly. So I consider myself prime real estate,
Yeah.
Jazz.
Ooh.
I'm prime real estate. Yes. just no ordinary kind of occupant can come into this
Right.
dwelling place.
Right. Right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, so we were together for really over 34 years, married for 25, had two awesome sons, like I introduced earlier.
Yes.
One was born in Boston, and my second one was born actually here in Dallas.
Wow.
And we moved from Boston to Dallas to actually serve with Bishop Jakes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we ended up here in Dallas. And we were here for many, many years, have a great, strong community and tribe of friends and family members that hold me accountable, really are a wonderful support system to me. So,
Yeah.
when life happened in Denver, and I had to get out of there, I knew exactly where I needed to be, and that was back here in Dallas.
Wow. And
Mhm.
and you know, when often we get married, like I was,
Yep.
we get married for, you know, till death do us
Till
part,
death.
till one of us is in the grave, and thing, and sometimes it doesn't happen, you know, it doesn't happen where people grow old together.
Right.
You know, I had to deal with so many things when I went through a divorce, of thought people
Yeah.
thought I was going to hell,
Right.
the whole 9 yards and stuff. So I know, and you know, that for us who are public figures, our divorce was a public thing,
Oh, yes.
known, you know, and it's crazy how people who don't know the story tend to want to. Now, I know Joy Hill long enough that is just a chapter, and there's 65 chapters in your book. So I don't want to stay on this chapter. However, there's
Right.
somebody who might have been through a
Yeah.
divorce, who's gone through a divorce, who just feel down. And like my whole
Right.
thing today is you can't keep a good woman down.
Right.
And first, if you don't mind going down with us and then coming back up, because I know it had to be devastating.
Absolutely, Jazz. And I've been very transparent with people. If I've had to I haven't really done many interviews. This is pretty much my first interview on this capacity, and so
Mm.
I'm so grateful for my journey. So let me kind of go back a little bit. Life happened to our marriage, and it was devastating because we were in ministry full time. I was the pastor's wife of a great church, mega church. I mean, it was like 7,000-8,000 people at this church that my ex-husband had taken over, and we were under the brand, of the Potter's House and everything. So yeah, we had the notoriety, all that kind of stuff. We had built, I think, something really great there. I loved being a pastor's wife. I did.
Mm.
I did.
Wow.
I mean, some women feel like it's really stressful
Mm.
and a lot of pressure, but I loved it. I think because I genuinely love people.
Wow.
I really do love people. And
Wow.
so it wasn't hard for me. It wasn't a chore or a task or burden. It wasn't any of that to me. And I mean, you could reach back in those Denver years and ask anybody how I was as a pastor's wife, and they'll tell you that I loved hard. I
Mm.
loved hard.
Mm.
So I enjoyed that season, and it wasn't always easy. So, in marriage, everybody brings baggage with them, and you have
Right.
to decide what you're going to let's stay in the suitcase. I mean, because it's part of your life. It's part of your
Yeah.
DNA, part of your childhood, all that kind of stuff that you bring to a marriage. And so some things stayed in the suitcase, some things got taken out and brought into the marriage. And so on both parts, you know what I mean? But I just wasn't going to, I knew what my worth was. And after a while, you know, like when patterns kept repeating itself, I had to decide, am I going to stay in a marriage where I am not treated like a woman, like I'm not treated like the woman that I'm worthy of, or am I going to take a stand? And it was scary. It was really, really scary, Jazz, because I mean, I walked away from a lot.
Yeah.
I walked away from a lot. I mean, we were living very well. We didn't grow up rich. We both grew up, you know, poor. We struggled, you know, as a young couple and a young family. So when we finally came into something, and then for all that to pretty much blow up, you know, and I had to make a decision that I was not going to be in a relationship where I wasn't treated like I was worth anything. B, I didn't want my sons to think that this was the way to treat your wife. You know, infidelity is not acceptable. It's just not acceptable, no matter what. Just walk away. You know, if you don't want the marriage, then just walk away. And then C, I had a lot of, and I still do have a lot of spiritual daughters and young ladies that I was mentoring. And I said, what is the message I'm also giving them? You know, not just to the women in my church at the time, but other women that I had, you know, been mentoring throughout the years. And so I had to make a decision what I was going to do and what I was worth, you know, that I was worth it, that I was worth standing up for. And if nobody was going to stand up for me, I was going to stand up for myself. And so that's what I did. And like I said, Jazz, I walked away from a lot.
Yeah.
And you came to our house, right?
I can't. I think I might have. I'm not. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But you know, and thank you for your transparency and thing. You know, we learned one thing that although we have a house, we want a home.
Absolutely, because it was a house full of stuff.
Right.
8,000 square foot of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was not a home.
Yeah.
And so as now I'm making another transition, and I've had to make several. You know, I look at those things and that's just stuff. I can't take it with me to heaven. You know what I mean? And stuff can be replaced, but peace is invaluable. Oh my God. Peace is priceless. And so I made a decision that I was going to be in a place mentally, physically, literally everything where I was going to walk in peace and live in peace. And that was really a scary move for me to do. I picked up, left Denver, came back to Dallas. And I mean, to the point where, Jazz, I didn't even know what a line of credit was. Like, that's how dependent I was.
Yeah.
I didn't work for many years, almost 20 years. So I didn't even know what my credit score was. You know, nothing like that. I literally I felt like I had just graduated from college and I was growing up and I got my own place. Like, I didn't even know my credit score when I first moved from Denver was like a 740.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what that meant. Like, that's how naive I was and ignorant I was. And I had to learn a lot of stuff, getting a line of credit, you know, then the credit cards started coming in, having to balance all of that and getting a job again. Thank God that I went to college and I have a degree. So I'm a teacher by trade.
Fantastic.
Yep. So I have a skill. And that's one thing I can say to women, like, try to get a skill. It's never too late to have a skill, because you want something that you can like fall back on. I never thought that I'd end up going back into the, you know, the education field, but thank God I had that. And I love kids and I love music and I was a music teacher. So that's what I did when I first came back. When I first came back to Dallas.
It sounds like you started this journey of what I call self-discovery. Because oftentimes in the church, we have God discovery, and it's great to discover God, but it's self-discovery. So, Joy, as you started this journey of from Denver to Dallas, what is the top 3 things that you have discovered about yourself? What are the top 3 things that you can say you've discovered about yourself?
Well, I know one of the things is I've discovered what I like and what I don't like.
Wow, what you like and what you don't like.
As simple as that. I know it sounds simple, but when you've lived a life where everything that you did or wore or bought or anything you wanted to get the approval and, you know, the approval of somebody else, you know, the affirmation from somebody else, whether that's your husband, whether that's your children. Everything was about my family.
Right.
Everything was about my family, from the
Yeah.
colors in the house, their room, the couch, the bed cover. I mean, everything was about my family, my marriage, and my kids. And so really learning what is joy like? I mean, to the point where I picked a whole different color scheme I would have never picked. Never picked. As simple as that. But I learned how to like myself. I learned how to like myself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because, you know, when I was always around someone, you know, whether it was, you know, at the house when I was raising my kids, and then later on, just the church people, you're always around somebody. So rarely was I really ever alone.
Okay.
And having to be comfortable in my own skin and saying, I like me.
Yeah.
And the things that I didn't like about me, I had to be courageous enough to confront those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did a lot of that through, again, accountability with other people and allowing my community to talk to me and to confront me on my stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also through counseling. That's another way I was able to discover me, is through counseling and just getting those tools to navigate this new path that I was on of being single. I had not been alone since I was 14 years old.
Oh my goodness.
If you really think about it. And at 46 is when I got divorced.
Wow.
So from 14 to 46, I really didn't know who joy was, you know. I went to college. I graduated May of 1992, got married June of 1992.
Wow. So you just really on this path of finally me, of self-discovering.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you like yourself.
Let me go back for a second too, just about the whole self-discovery, because I had to realize too that a lot of times we bring our past, like I said, sometimes we can bring our past into our present, and if we're not careful. And I already had gone through a scandal when I was a teenager with my own parents. My dad was a pastor, and he failed. He had a moral failing. And it destroyed my family. It destroyed the ministry. It destroyed our legacy. And then here I was, you know, almost 30 years later, going through the almost exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know, and at that crossroads again, and saying, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to sit here and get stuck? Or am I going to keep on living? Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I want to only hear two words, Jazz: well done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm accountable for what God has put inside of me. And I can't blame my ex-husband. I can't blame my father. You know, I can't blame other people. I can't blame people who, when I was molested as a child, I can't keep blaming everybody if for me getting stuck. After a while, I have to take responsibility and move forward and forgive, and, you know, not get bitter and move from unforgiveness to forgiveness. So I think that's something I definitely learned too, is just learning how to not repeat those patterns.
Wow. Wow. I have seen you and you look amazing, and it's great to hear you. I've seen you when you were on the floor, the lowest. I've heard you on the lowest. And
you heard me hollering, crying on the phone. Let's just say it.
Yeah, and we had tissues and toilet papers and everything like that. And so I've seen you low, and there may be somebody who is even tuning in who is at that place. What was it beside God that made you say, I got to get up from this floor? Because I've been on that floor. Oh God, I've been on that floor. I know, but I know that floor. I have a master's degree in that floor.
Yeah. Yeah. The floor and the floor, if you're not careful, it'll start getting comfortable to you. You start making a pallet on that floor. You bring a pillow to that floor. You bring a little blanket, a security blanket on that floor. You get comfortable on that floor after a while. If you don't force yourself to get up, it's like and I'm not going to get deep and spiritual about it. So really, honestly, two things caused me to get up: Christopher Jr. and Jonathan.
Wow.
Now I know everybody may not have children, but that was what was the force, if you will, that got me off that floor.
Yeah.
Because I want my sons to rise and call me blessed. I want them to be proud of me. I want them to see what that a good woman can't be kept down, what a strong woman looks like, what a courageous woman looks like after she's been knocked down, dragged down, beat down, that she can still get up. I want them to see that example so that when they go to choose their wives, that they won't choose somebody that's just going to give up, you know, at the smallest thing. And I'm not minimizing what I went through at all. It wasn't small, but just that you need somebody that's going to be in your corner, that's going to fight with you, fight for you, be on your side, you know, be ride or die. That's the person that I am. And I gotta honestly, Jazz, because of my sons, they did not ask to be here.
Yeah.
And they still, after the whole fact, because our whole family, it just was like dynamite got to our family and just blew it up.
Yeah.
And they didn't ask for any of this. And so they still needed a healthy mother. I'll speak for myself. They need a healthy father and they need a healthy mother. Yes. I can't control what their father did or has done or is still doing, but I can control me.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things too that I learned and really got out of counseling is not to try to be so worried about what the other side is doing. All you can do is control you. Yeah. And to not be afraid to confront your stuff.
Yeah.
Not to be afraid. It's painful. It's not pretty all the time.
Oh, I know that
pretty all the time.
Fact. Yeah.
And the fear that grips a lot of women. A lot of women don't make the move that I did because they're afraid. They're afraid how they're going to make it.
I was going to ask you, what would you say was your top 2, 3 fear that kept you? Because for me, it was the fear. Number 1 fear was the fear of rejection. The fear of rejection.
Yeah.
Number 2 was the fear of failure. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And you know, everybody knows I've always talked about this fear. My number 3 fear, Joy, was the fear of being alone. Yeah. Oh gosh, I didn't want to be alone. You know, what was your fear that kept you in a place where you knew? Because I believe, Joy, that before a paper is handed through a divorce, the marriage is long over. Yeah. It was just, you know, it's just like, let me put it this way. Some people have lost loved one during COVID-19, but the funeral hasn't taken place yet.
That's like a divorce.
Physically, it hasn't taken place yet. So it's like, when we get the document, when it hit publicly, it was already over privately. We were just perpetrating. Right. So what was your fear?
Man, I think one of my top fear was your third fear. Mine was fear of being alone.
Wow.
Because, like I said, I'd been with the same person since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I never knew anything or anyone else.
Yeah.
So the fear of not being married.
Yeah.
You know, that scared the life out of me.
Yeah.
I also have a fear of abandonment and rejection. Those are some of my abandonment and rejection. Yeah, those are some top. That's my kryptonite too.
Yeah.
And then and rejection and abandonment, not just by my spouse, but by my children,
of course,
by people in church leadership. Because church people can be really, 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 really mean.
Yeah. Oh, I've been there. I know it. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm getting the awesome privilege of interviewing the one and only Joy Hill. If I can get Anita Baker, because she might sing it, "You Bring Me Joy." Okay, but when we're talking about women, our topic is you can't keep a good woman down, or you can't hold a good woman down. And many of you guys who are tuning in, male or female, but have experienced either death, divorce, or disappointment. And Joy, I know you talked a little about the divorce. I want you to go back one more because you said you had all 3. And what is the death? What is the death?
Well, a literal death was my dad. When I lost my dad, and it took me a long time to forgive him.
How old were you when he passed?
I was in college. So no. I had just gotten married and had my son. So I was like 23, 24. But I was talking to somebody recently about this and just how, because of what happened, that scandal that I told you about a few minutes ago, man, I had a hard time forgiving my dad. And I was getting stuck in unforgiveness. And so it wasn't until almost till he pretty much died that where I decided, it's like, I have to forgive my dad. You know, I can't hold him and get stuck in that, and that will affect my marriage or my future, even my ministry. And I didn't want him to leave Earth thinking that one of his children, his daughter, could not forgive him. And so, I mean, it was horrible what happened to our family. But I made a decision to forgive him. So that was the death of my dad. And then that was a little death. And then, like we were just saying, divorce is like a death, except for the person's still alive.
Yep.
So having to deal with that, that's like a death. And you have to go through a grieving process.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's equivalent to a death. I said the death, divorce, and disappointment is all. It can keep you on the floor, and you don't even want to rise up. This is Mental Health Month, and it takes a mentally strong woman to get up from, for lack of a better word, a public divorce. It wasn't no private divorce. It was a public divorce. Yeah. I remember when I went through my divorce, and I was in Columbus, Ohio, and my former pastor, Pastor Keith Troy, said to me, divorce is never good, but at least you're getting one when nobody knows you. No, because nobody knew who I was. I am Dr. Jazz. And Joy, I tell people, one of the privilege or the blessed thing about COVID-19 and us having to stay in our house is God is letting us heal in private. In private. Yeah. But you didn't have the privilege like some people have. I mean, your stuff public.
Listen, that thing went around the globe. Hear me?
Yes. It shaped
and I'm thinking, man, a text message is so powerful. You never know where it's gonna go. You know, whatever you put in writing, it's like it's almost permanent. Like you make a what do you call it? A thumbprint or something they call it in the earth when you write something. So sending it to, and I can name all the people that I sent it to, but somebody copy paste, and it went into the internet. It went to a blogger, and from there it just was viral. But in a moment of pain, I'm writing out to get free, thinking that's my get out of jail free card, reaching out for help, and didn't realize it was going to end up public. So yes, it was quite public.
Yes,
quite public.
Where did you get your mental stamina, your mental strength?
I got it from 7 years before that event.
Okay.
In 2010, I don't even know if I've ever told you this, Jazz, but in 2010, I went through something where I almost had a nervous breakdown. I think I was having one, but I was sane enough to reach out for help. And when I reached out I was suicidal. Okay. And I called 911 and I asked them, could they take me to a hospital so I could get evaluated? I wanted to commit suicide.
Wow.
In doing so, I didn't know the things. I never had called 911 ever before, and I ended up incriminating myself. I did end up going to a mental institution where they did a psych eval, and they were like, yeah, you're situationally depressed, and I was still having suicidal feelings, but I knew I wanted help because I didn't want my sons. Again, I was a mother, and I didn't want my sons to come home and see me dead in the bed because I done swallowed a whole bottle of pills. Like, I didn't want that. And so, but I went through some serious work to get out of that dark place. I went through anger management classes. I even experienced probation.
Yep.
Okay. Because I had to get control of myself. I was to the point then where I was blaming somebody else for my reactions. I was reacting and not responding.
Yeah.
And I had to take responsibility. No matter what the other person was doing, I still played a part in that.
Yeah.
And so I had to pay the consequences.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when I did that, man, was that a lesson that I learned. And I was like, it was good for me when I went through that season. And so because of what I went through in 2010, and I write more about it in detail in my book, we'll talk about in a few minutes.
I can't wait. Yep. Yeah, her book is coming out.
Did she just say probation? I did. So living in a hotel for 4 months. We were separated. This is in Denver.
Yeah.
This was in Denver.
Yeah.
Just full of shame. I went through all that kind of stuff, but I learned those lessons in 2010 because I didn't know at the time that 2017 was coming.
Wow.
And so when 2017 came, I learned you can't react, Joy. Don't react. Don't do a drive-by. Don't drag her by her hair across that stage. Like don't drag her out there. Like don't take out a gun and shoot nobody. Don't do a Lorena Bobbitt. Like I learned that in 2010.
Okay.
So by the time 2017 came, I had those things in check. And so even though my mind, like it would, I was sane, but still I was hurting, and you had to like filter through all of that and still make good decisions and respond and not react.
Hey, listen, everybody. I told you guys, this is finally me for real, because so oftentimes people think because you are saved that sometimes you don't feel like you're insane or losing your mind and won't even get the necessary help that you need. And I had last week Dr. Anita Phillips on here with me, and she was talking about, hey, we were talking about the altar is important. Go to the altar. We believe God, but sometimes you need a couch, and you need a couch with a professional person.
Listen. Yes, ma'am. No shame in my game. I had counseling before the divorce, during the trial, after the trial. I got it right now. I had counseling this week.
Yeah.
Because I know me and I know my triggers. That's another thing. Like talking about Mental Health Awareness Month, you got to know yourself. You got to be honest with yourself to know, like, ooh, that's a trigger. Like, okay, so right now I'm getting ready to move soon.
Yeah, wait, let me set it up. So that was before, and now we were now going into now, because there is hope there. That's why I brought Joy Hill on, because when she sings at the end, you're gonna try to figure out. I'm just messing with her. When I sing at the end, you don't know why. There's a story behind her song. So now you're getting ready for another chapter. Everybody text and type. Turn the page. Turn the page. Here we go. These are the pages of Joy's life. So now you get ready to turn the page, and I'm so excited. Tell us what's ahead for Joy Hill.
Okay, well, I just recently was offered a worship pastor and fine arts pastor position at a church that I have ministered at before. And I'm so excited about this new chapter in my life. Those of y'all that know me, most people know me for singing. I do a little preaching every now and then too.
Oh no, she does more than preaching. I still watch the preaching with you and the fire outfit. Oh, please. And when I have my conference, finally me for real virtual conference, you are going to be one of my guest preachers. All right, go ahead.
Amen. Well, yeah. And so people know me, for singing and things like that. So, I just had to accept this offer because I'm so passionate about worship. I'm so passionate about the presence of God and helping to bring people with me and shifting cultures, in terms of worship. And so I'm super, super excited. So I'm in the process of moving again.
Mm-hmm.
So the first move from Denver to Dallas, and now I'm moving from Dallas to another state. And I'm going through a bit of I've experienced some triggers. Because I'm having to let go of some things.
Wow.
Again, I did a whole bunch of letting go before when I left Denver to come to Dallas. I sold a lot of stuff, my clothes, my shoes, my jewelry, my purses, and I still had so much left, right? So I brought my leftovers to Dallas.
Bag lady.
Listen, and I've sold a lot more purses and shoes and clothes.
I remember those pictures of those bags.
I was like, yes, you want a bag? You want a purse? Yeah. I'm sending my friends my Christian Louboutins, my Jimmy Choos. Like, you want some shoes? Yeah. So, because when I left Denver, I didn't have any, it was for groceries. It was for gas. It was just to live, because we didn't have things set up yet, but now we do and everything. But this time I'm letting things go and selling things because I really want a fresh start, Jazz. I still have things. I look around my house that vase. I remember the room that vase was in the Denver house, or that chair, or that couch, or that, yeah. So I'm getting pictures on the wall. Like, I'm getting rid of everything.
Wow.
The only thing I'm taking is my bedroom set that I bought when I moved here to Dallas. Brand new color scheme, like I said, but letting go. So I've been having little funerals, if you will.
Wow.
A funeral for the dinette set, a funeral for the chair, a funeral for the vase, a funeral for the picture. And I'm like, what's going on? So I had to get some counseling this week. I did.
Absolutely.
I did. Yeah,
wow.
Just letting it go. But I've had to let go on so many different levels. I've had to let go emotionally because I refuse to get stuck, Jazz. I refuse to stay on that floor. That floor is like a magnet if you let it just suck you in, right?
Yes.
I had to let go spiritually because I had to forgive. I think that part of my journey and why God has been so faithful and has favored me is because I have learned the power of forgiveness, like for real.
Wow.
And not just a one-time forgiveness. My mentor, Dr. Kathy Moffitt, she calls it perpetual forgiveness.
Perpetual forgiveness.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I've had to forgive some people once, and then they do something again. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have to forgive you again. The 70 times 7, like I've had to perpetually forgive, you know? So I've had to really learn the power of that. I recently had to actually do something to reach back to someone who really, really hurt me in this whole situation. And I really believe that by this act, it was not my idea. The Holy Spirit told me to do it. And I think when I did that, it unlocked something in the heavenlies for me. I really do. I really believe that obedience or disobedience can block and obedience can unlock. So I really believe that it's the master key to a lot of our blessings. If we walk in instant obedience, not just regular, you can obey, but you can obey in 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years. No,
right.
God tells you to do something, He wants you to do it right away.
Yeah.
And I really believe that that's what has helped to unlock this favor that's on my life. Now, do I have everything that I used to? I don't want everything that I used to have.
Right.
I had the stuff, but I had no peace. I had the stuff, but I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Just going through the motions. And so that's why I think I have an anointing to let things go.
I know you do, and I can't wait for your book to come out. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining. I'm talking to the one and only Joy Hill, and she's now moving to a new state, taking on a new position. I'm excited about it. Of course, you guys know in this segment, you get a chance to ask Joy Hill some questions. So you can put it on IG or Facebook, put your question in there. While your question is coming in there, I have a question for you, Joy.
Okay.
Have you forgiven yourself?
I have. And that was a journey too.
Yeah.
Because you ask in your mind, could I have done something different? Could I have done something better? Could I have been a better this? Could I have been a better that? Yeah, I went through all those changes, all those mental battles, if you will. And so, I had to forgive myself and say, this is my truth. I did the best that I could and move from there. I did the best that I could with what I had and with what I knew.
Yep. Powerful. All right, everybody, drop your questions in. Let's get it. Somebody said, who is this pastor? This is Joy Hill. And across the screen, her name is going across. I am Joy Hill. You can follow her on every social media. I am Joy Hill. And Joy Hill, I know for me, and I'm sure it's for you, and it's a lot of people who've been through a divorce. If you didn't have good emotional supporters, and check this out, good financial supporters.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Listen.
Let me get my bottle of wine, my glass. Red or white. Great financial supporters and emotional supporters and spiritual supporters. And so I have her Cash App there because I want us to be a blessing to her. I am Joy Hill. Okay, so somebody asked a question.
Yes.
Are you afraid to love again?
No, I'm not.
We're getting off because she didn't tell me something I must need to know because you're perking up. Okay, go ahead.
Nope, I'm not afraid to love again. I welcome it. In fact, I have to be careful because I'm still a wife in my head. I don't care what nobody say. I was a good wife. I wasn't necessarily a perfect wife, but I was a good wife, and I'm still a good thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm still a good thing.
Oh gosh. Oh, the Bible, he that find it a wife, find it a good thing.
Yeah. So I'm open to love again. I have dated since my divorce. Yes, it's been interesting because again, I was with the same person for 34 years since I was 14 years old. So dating again at the age of 47 or so, when I started dating in 48, that was different, you know. And again, I felt like a teenager all over again. Just all giddy, talking till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but it's been great.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
these questions are coming in. So this is a good one. How did you support your sons during the period of the divorce? How did you?
Question. Great question.
Yeah.
So I had my younger son was with me, and in Dallas, that is, and I don't want to put this person on blast, but a very good friend of mine and her husband, if I name them, everybody would know who they are. Made themselves a committee of a couple, and they made sure that Jonathan and I both got counseling.
Wow.
And they paid for it.
Oh, that is, yeah.
For as long as we needed it.
Oh my goodness. That is fantastic.
So Jonathan would have his session, I would have my session, and then we would have a session together.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So, so that's what we did to get through, and definitely counseling. And then I have a community. Like, I'm going to definitely name drop this one because this family has been so amazing for my son. Like, it brings tears to my eyes.
Wow.
The Shires. So, are you familiar with Priscilla Shire?
Yeah.
People might know who she is.
Oh, yes.
Well, her husband, Jerry.
Yes.
He's a quiet storm, but when I tell you, because one time Jonathan, he ran away. He was mad at me. He was mad at the world, and he didn't really know how to express it. He ran away from me, and and I was like, you don't like this house, you can leave. So he did. He left, and Jerry Shire got in his truck.
Wow.
Found my son, took him home, fed him, talked to him, loved on him. So it's been a community of people. Another friend of mine, her daughter, Chris Smith, he came and talked with Jonathan. So I've had different men in his life, plus the counselor. So it takes, I know it's cliche-ish, but it's true. It takes a village, Jazz. It takes a village.
Yes. Wonderful. Oh my goodness. Okay, I see y'all bringing these questions.
Talk about my kids, I get emotional. So
I understand. I don't have nobody over there to give you tissue. So okay. So if you could do it all over instead of sending the text, what would you have done? Oh, that's a good one.
That's a great question.
Hey, Aisha Hilliard. Good to see you. Aisha is on. I got you. She's coming on later on this month. I can't wait to interview you.
That's my friend.
I can't wait to interview you. Yeah, okay.
Let me just say a shout out. I will answer that question. Irisha, she knew about triggers. She knew about, because she's been through some stuff too. And my first, what would have been my 25th anniversary, she called me and said, "Friend, come down here to Houston. Let's hang out for that weekend." We ate at fancy restaurants. We went and got massages together. She's like, I don't want you going through your first, what would have been your anniversary alone.
Wow.
Flew me in, had me picked up. Like,
I know that my friend was Janie Dukes, and my first anniversary after divorce was Janie Dukes. Picked me up. She couldn't afford all the stuff Aisha did, so she just bought a bottle of red wine and some chocolate. And that was the size of it. But that's what I'm talking. That is so powerful. If you do it all over again, if you can do it all over again, what would you? If you can do it all over instead of sending the text, what would you have done?
I just would not have sent it. I would have had a bottle of wine and ate some chocolate. I might have had 2 boxes of chocolate and some fried chicken along with it. But just, that's probably what I would have done. I mean, I had people at the house that night and talking through that. I would have done what I do now when I feel a trigger coming on. And I would have picked up the phone, or I would have gotten in my car and I would have gone to somebody who I knew who would love me through it. Yeah. Would love me through my trigger, would love me through the tears, would love me through my anger, would love me through my cussing, would love me through my screaming, would love me through it. And if I had known now, if I knew then what I know now, that's what I would have done. Plus a bottle of wine and some chocolate.
Hey, the chocolate comes in so handy.
Listen, it's healing. It's a healing balm in that chocolate.
Yeah. When will your book be available?
I gotta finish writing it, y'all. I mean, I'm self-pubbing, so I gotta get my whole
way to go.
Yeah, and so that's not free 99. So prayerfully it'll be out hopefully next year. I mean, I'm gonna be finished writing it in the next few months. So, but there were some things I had to make sure we're okay with my sons, even, again, because they didn't ask to be a part of anything. It was public, like you said. It was very public. It was humiliating. It was embarrassing for my sons. And so I want to, make sure that whatever I say, whatever I write, they can still be proud of it and see mom is still standing. She went through all this, but she came on the other side and she's good.
Can't keep a good woman down. Okay. Do you think your love level and trust will ever be that deep like before?
Well, my love level and my trust level. That's a good question.
That's a ridiculous question.
I think I will know, because I know the red flags now and I know the questions to ask, and I'm not going to mute myself anymore, because I think I was on mute for so many years because of my fear of rejection and abandonment. Yeah, I was on mute. I had a voice, but I just muted it.
Oh my gosh, girl, you talking about that voice. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow.
I muted it, Jazz, to survive. Yeah. And so I'm not going to be afraid of, not necessarily I'm going to be all mouthy or anything like that, but I know the triggers, I know the signs, I know the red flags, and we're going to talk about all that before marriage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before marriage, I want to really know what I'm getting into.
Okay. So, I got time for 2 more, and then I'm going to do a real quick question for just fun. But somebody said, what is the biggest change you've seen in your life, and are you still in ministry?
What is the biggest change I've seen in my life? And well, I'll answer the last question first. Yes, I'm still in ministry. I'm, in fact, getting ready to go into full-time ministry. I don't know if you were able to hear that, whoever asked that question. And I'm going to be worship and fine arts pastor at a church in the next few months. So I'm super, super excited about it. I'm still preaching. I'm still singing, all of that. Yes. And what's the hardest thing? The hardest thing was really just making sure I was financially stable, because that was one of my fears too. That was another one of my fears, because I'd been dependent on a man, on my husband. And so I didn't have my own resources. I didn't have my own thing. You know what I mean? And so because I trusted on that level, like, it's good. We're not, and so yeah, that was one of the scariest and hardest things for me. So that was the biggest change, is becoming financially independent. And I'm good. You should see where I'm moving, where I'm at right now. I'm good.
I can't listen, y'all. If I was in the studio, extra time cost. So all of you have these 99 questions. I am Joy Hill, or I am Dr. Jazz, because I'm trying to get these questions. But don't read it. But let's be a blessing to Joy Hill as she's moving to a whole nother state to do something phenomenal. But you have I should charge you for these questions. That's what I should charge. Well, let's be a blessing to Joy Hill, or I am Dr. Jazz, all at the bottom. Joy, somebody said, how did you overcome the shame and the embarrassment? I think that is such a great question. How did you overcome the shame?
That's a great question. So when I first came back to Dallas, my first thing was like, okay, well, I want to go to church, but like, where can I go? Because everybody knows my situation. You know what I mean? And so I had to, that's part of forgiving myself. Okay? And then I had to realize I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I had to really own my truth of that. Like, I didn't do anything wrong to be ashamed of. And when I would walk into a church sometimes, Jazz, I don't know, they can see me, right?
Yeah, they can see you.
Okay. So they would be like, oh, hi, Lady Joy. And I would literally take my hands and straighten their face. I'm like, I'm good. I'm okay. And then once they get to talk to me, like, I've had to retell things or to talk to people a lot, and so them hearing me, and I'm not bashing my ex-husband, I'm not bashing men. Like the first time I went to preach at this one church, the pastor, he admitted to me he was a little kind of nervous because he wasn't sure if I was going to be bashing men from his pulpit.
Right.
And he said he was pleasantly surprised when that didn't happen. But that's how I got over the shame and embarrassment. I decided not to walk in condemnation, not to walk in shame.
Yeah.
And to forgive myself, to forgive my who was my husband then, to forgive the other people involved in the matter, and keep walking in that. So
yeah, you know, I said some people come for a reason and some people come for a season. And I know for so many of us, marriage, we think it's going to be for eternity or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, and you take the good and you leave the bad. So all right, this is the spin a long time. This is where we get to the lighthearted thing, because y'all know if we go too deep, y'all be laid out on the floor, you know, whatever. Again, you got to follow Joy Hill. I am Joy Hill on all social media platforms. And also, you can also cash app her. Let's be a blessing to her in that regards. Let's get it going. So, Joy, these are some spin around, just pop up question that I'm just drop it. What's your favorite color?
Pink. Any shade of pink.
Oh, pink. She's a pink girl, y'all. She's a pink girl. All right. What do you do for fun?
I shop.
Oh my gosh. No, you're not.
Yeah. I love shoes.
Oh,
no matter what size clothes you are, your shoe size usually stays the same. So I love shoes.
Oh my goodness. What is your favorite food?
I love Chinese food.
I know. I remember last time I was with you, you had eat Chinese food. I don't eat any Chinese food.
You don't?
I don't.
And Boston has like the best Chinese food. I love Chinese food. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. What is your favorite scripture?
Psalm 139:14. I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
That's my finally me scripture.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
What is your favorite song outside of gospel or artist? If you had what's your favorite song? Then I'll give you the second question. Outside of gospel.
Outside of gospel, well, I have artists. So I like so many different songs. I love like Earth, Wind, and Fire. I love Stevie Wonder. I love Shaka Khan.
Ooh.
I do. I love Whitney Houston. So I love different artists. My secular artists. My first secular concert was Anita Baker.
Oh, I went to see Anita. I love Anita Baker.
When I'm down. Yes.
What?
So much joy. Yeah.
Okay, so are you a better singer or a better dancer?
Oh,
come on, you better say singer.
Because I can dance. Look, because I can dance. Well, my knees are kind of bad right now, but so right now I'm a better singer. But I love to dance. Okay.
If you have a choice between going to see Janet Jackson or Beyonce.
Ooh,
come on. Y'all better, which
Janet.
Gonna do? Janet. Did you say Janet?
I did.
You going for Janet over the queen?
I did. Now, wait. Because of the performance, the show, but the singing, Beyonce.
Okay. Okay, let me ask you the other two questions. What is your ideal romantic gift? No, yeah.
Ideal romantic gift.
You would like to, just in case these
a home cooked meal with some candles on the table and some flowers, just something simple like that. Because I know that person took the time to do it. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like they took the time to actually prepare it with me in mind. So that's huge for me.
A home cooked meal.
You're listening.
I hope you're listening. Application that I am Joy Hair, and I am with you. I'm with you in all of that.
Meal, and it doesn't have to be something super fancy. Shoot, it could be pancakes and bacon. I don't care. But that's a gift to me.
Okay. Well, your knees are bad because you had surgery. But let me see if your shoulders are working. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jazz, what happened to Mary J. Blige's song?
Oh, it's coming up. That's coming up right at the end. I wanted to see if you had the shoulder. Look at y'all. Y'all going crazy. Check your Cash App while they're on.
My Cash App is blowing up. Oh my God.
Okay, I am Joy Hill. Don't, y'all, don't do it. If y'all ain't gonna come on here and bless her, let's be a blessing. Are you seeing? You're not seeing all these comments, are y'all? Are you seeing?
No, I can't see anything on my.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
What are they saying?
They are going crazy. They are on IG going crazy. Oh my goodness. They said we look like sisters. Okay, well, both women of thunder and joy. So we'll send you the rebroadcasting it. But hey, everybody, thanks so very much for joining us. I normally end at 6:30. Y'all got it at 6:42. So y'all know I'm going to charge y'all some more money for this thing. But IamJoyHill.com is her website, her Cash App, her Facebook. Tell them every platform you're on so they can follow you.
Yeah, so it's I Am Joy Hill. I'm following after my big sister, Dr. Jazz. She's I am Dr. Jazz on everything. I am Joy Hill on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if people want to still reach out to me, they can DM me, they can email me from my website. I've been coaching different women, and some of my mentees are still in my life. Some of I didn't give up on all my daughters, even though I was hurt by one. Everybody didn't hurt me. And that's, so I wanted to still show love. Yeah. I refuse to punish everybody for what one person did.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so, that is so powerful, Joy, because sometimes we put people in that same place where we put everybody under the same bag. Wow.
I'm still coaching. I'm still mothering. I'm still teaching. I still am. So I'm grateful for the journey.
Well, you brought us joy. Did she bring us joy today? Did she bring us joy today?
Thank you, Dr. Jazz.
I'm so honored. I love you. You know that. I'm giving you virtual hugs, a virtual hug to let you know.
Let me tell your listeners real quick. Dr. Jazz has been consistently there for me. When I tell you from day one of this new chapter of my life, she has been there for me. And Dr. Jazz, I've said it to you privately, but I want to say it to you publicly. I love and appreciate you so much for being there for me. Like, you put your money where your mouth is. You have called people on my behalf. You've been an advocate for me. You've just been a cheerleader for me. You've been on Team Joy. And I appreciate you so much. You didn't have to do what you've been doing for me. And I'm so grateful to you. So,
well, I love you. And I'm so excited about your next chapter. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it, and we want you to shine, and we're here for you and support you. That t-shirt is that we can put you also we can
you can contact me on my website and I can send them to you. Yes, this is my thing, Unbreakable. That's going to be the name of my book,
Unbreakable.
And, I'm gonna save the subtitle for when it comes out, but this is the title of my book. So,
and she's still speaking and she's still singing, so you can book her virtually. All right. Have you heard my Finally Me for Real song?
I heard it at the beginning. Yeah, I've heard it before, but I heard it more today. Here.
Ooh, yeah. Wait a minute, let me talk to y'all. Got something on my chest, I wanna get it all.
Yeah.
I won't keep you long, not at all. You ever felt as if you didn't measure up? Like what you had to offer wasn't good enough?
Yeah.
With them lies that had you switching up. Cause if I can't truly be me, isn't love. So I mean with your standards abuse me. So if that means me choosing you are losing me, I'll be yelling next like, excuse me. You go right ahead and do you, baby, cause I do me. Oh, no, that ain't no chip on my shoulders. I'm just simply saying if I ain't your cup of tea, then drink soda. It's right, it's finally me and I'm older. So to counterfeit relationships, I won't lose sleep. Finally me, for real. Walking in my purpose, feels good to be free, for real. Knowing all things they are working, I finally see myself. I know that I am worth it. I ain't even scratched the surface. Blessing me on purpose. I'm free. never been afraid to voice your opinion. What if they don't like what I suggest? What if they get offended? But ain't it crazy how fear can misguide your true intentions when you can be the very person in position someone else for winning? You be feeling like your predicament, someone hypocritic. I mean, if I ain't got it, how in the world I'ma tell you to get it? See, but we all play a part, baby. We all different. You just gotta decide what you gonna do with what you've been given. See, I learned that being humble show don't mean timid. And I learned that if you stumble, you can still finish. See, you ain't got to hide behind nobody. Stop pretending. If you really want it, then get off your behind and get it. So what if they don't see it? They don't mean he didn't give you vision. Shoot, I made them haters lemonade when they gave me lemons. What you got? This beautiful baby, start to finish. Fearfully and wonderfully created in the fire in me for real. Walking in my purpose feels good to be free for real.
Yeah.
Things that I was in, I finally see myself.
Yeah.
Know that I am worth it. I ain't even scratched the surface, baby.
I ain't scratched the surface.
On purpose, finally. I convinced her work was irrelevant, but God defends her days. I waste my bad days. He knows the plans he has for me. I won't let nothing get in my way.
Gotta get my way.
Go get it, gotta go get it, yeah. Baby, gotta go get it, yeah.
Hey.
Go get it, gotta go get it, yeah. Gotta go get it, gotta go get it, yeah. Gotta go get it, gotta go get it, yeah. Get it, gotta go get it, yeah. Gotta go get it, gotta go get it,
Gotta get it
I told you. Hey, everybody, thanks so very much for joining me. Hey, I hope you were blessed. Thank you all so very much for joining us. God bless y'all. Catch you next week with Finally Me for Real. Thank you. Don't forget to sow into Joy Hill. I am Joy Hill. Keep your eyes on her. She's going to be a blessing. Look, keep your eyes. Follow her. This is going to be uploaded on YouTube. All right, guys. Mwah. Love y'all. Remember, be Finally Me for Real. Thanks, Joy. Bless you.